So I'd like to introduce Haylee Wrenn. She's the founder of Accountabill. Accountabill is a New Zealand-based practice that focuses on understanding the needs of small businesses, especially those in distressing situations. Every day, Accountabill really strives to help business owners master their finances, and Haley's done an incredible job of supporting them to grow their businesses.
Cool. So I'm going to stop sharing so we can see Haylee instead of a picture of her. So welcome, Haylee. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm really excited to have you here. Maybe you can just start by telling us a bit about yourself and your accounting practice.
So we're a weird and wonderful setup. We specialize in companies in financial difficulty. So, we take clients no other self-respecting accountant would. I used to work for Inland Revenue, being a debt collector, and then jumped ship and started doing bankruptcies and liquidations. So this is sort of my jam and my fun part. We are nationwide. We all work from home. But yeah, while we have companies in financial difficulty, we've actually got some incredibly successful turnarounds. And I think that's the bit I love about my job, is they don't stay broken for long.
Amazing. That was what was most inspiring about that case study you did with Alex, about how, you turn them around, not just, kind of help them get out of the issue, but like make them super successful.
Haley, then I think from my side is what sort of makes Accountabill different from your standard firm? What inspired you to go about the processes that you have done to obviously build up the reputation that you've got now?
I think when I worked at Inland Revenue and the official S&E doing bankruptcies and liquidations, it was the same story day in, day out. There was no support. The moment you started having cash flow issues, accountants got scared and they went, well, we're not going to get paid. So they stopped returning phone calls. They stopped replying to emails. And while I fully understand that, sometimes if you wrap your arms around them and actually put in some support, you can actually change that. And so that's what I saw. It was the same thing day in, day out. Little Joe Bloggs, who had no idea what he was doing, made a dumb mistake, didn't have any support. They became my clients at Inland Revenue and as a bankrupt. So that's why we wrap our arms around them and do that support.
Amazing. So I suppose the next thing is, obviously we're on a Syft webinar. So just a little bit of if you could give us a bit of your experience working with Syft, and maybe also while we're there, what's your favorite feature about Syft specifically within your context as a practice?
I think Syft, and I just had a look actually. How long have I been using Syft? It was actually COVID times when I started working with you guys, because that was a boom period for me. It was really good. My business grew substantially during COVID. And so it is actually that visualization of being able to show people where their money's going. And actually, it's pretty pictures. It's easy to understand. Without Syft, I don't think I would have been able to do a lot of the things that we've actually been able to achieve. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's been, nearly 4 years with you guys now. So it's been really cool.
Awesome. So good experience of all. And then why do you think, I think in our discussions previously, you've always spoken about how cash flow management is really important. And I think you've touched on that now when you're saying, customers in distress. So can you speak to why you think other firms should also consider that, or, why your focus on that?
I think the reality is we have too much work. And while that's a good thing for us, I don't really want the work. So if accountants actually started, or accountants and bookkeepers actually started focusing on that cash flow and actually worked really closely with their clients, then I wouldn't have so much to do. But also it would mean that clients are actually doing so much better in business. And I think you can easily have conversations like in Syft, you've got that valuation tool. And I quite often will sit down with a client and actually say, well, here is your choice. This is potentially what your business is worth.
Mm.
You know, it's only just a pie in the sky number. But if we could get your cash flow up and if we could do this, then you could actually make more money. Or if, you know, now is the time to sell. It's cash flow is the key to actually making people happy and successful.
For sure.
And then Haylee, I think just one last question from my side. Obviously, sort of globally, we've seen different countries going through different things, but what would you say are probably the main challenges in your industry in New Zealand at the moment?
I think at the moment, the next 12 months are going to be really interesting here in New Zealand. Things are going to get pretty tight fairly quickly, and we're seeing it across all industries, construction, e-commerce. Now is the time that we should actually be spending with our clients and actually planning for their cash flow, because the chances are it's going to drop. There's no point in actually waiting until the end of the year and go, oh, well, you know, we knew your cash flow wasn't going to do as well. So now is a really good opportunity to go out to our clients and actually say, let's do some work on this. They've got cash now. Let's do some work on this to prepare you for the future. And all the resources are at the fingertips when you've got Syft. You know, when businesses start struggling, mental health starts struggling, everything starts imploding. We're better off to do this work now before things get tough. And I think that's where we're heading. Cash flow is the next big thing for the next 12 months.
No, it makes sense. I mean, if you see that there's going to be a problem, you can actually do something now to stop it. You know, you can, you know, decrease costs or, you know, negotiate. But if you've already in the cash flow problem, you have a lot less options. So I think that's really good advice. But yeah, I think, is there anything else you want to add? We've asked you lots of questions. Anything else to add before we move on?
I think at the end of the day, it's the businesses need support. Like, they actually need us to go out and actually be there and be their trusted advisor, be their guiding light. Gone is the day where all you did was prepare annual accounts and you only spoke to your client once a year. I think now is the time. We've got all the tools, we've got the software. We need to start actually working with clients and making life easy. No,
that's, yeah, amazing. Definitely so true. Thank you so much, Haylee. Really appreciate you being here with us today and giving us very inspirational and useful insights. Thanks so much for joining us. I think now we're going to go learn how to use the rest of Syft, and hopefully that will also help us help our clients more. So thanks so much. I'm going to